You know, I never really understood the hype for the final swing suit. But I totally get it now. But before I show you what I did, have you seen my last video? The Wasp from the Quantumania is probably my favorite Marvel Legends figure. She's an excellent figure by herself, and even cooler with Ant-Man. Check it out if you're interested. Alright, it's Spidey time. My heart skipped a beat when they announced this wave. I immediately went to check it out. But then, I was hesitating whether or not to get the entire wave. On paper, this wave is perfect. But I already have Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man. And I'm not the biggest fan of the final swing suit. It looked too CGI in the movie, and there's something off about this figure too. Let's deconstruct this figure. There's an FAQ on the paint and brushes I use in the description box below. Now this is purely just my preference, but I don't love dark web lines on Tom Holland's suits. In No Way Home, the final swing scene is so blurry it's difficult to tell whether or not the web lines are raised like it is on the figure here, or more like his previous suits. Either way, I don't like what they did here. The lines here are bold and thick. These black lines flatten the figure visually, making it look 2D, which works really well if this is a cartoon character. And this issue becomes a little worse when you put Tom Holland's head on it. This looks like a what-if version of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, instead of the live-action one. This head sculpt is great. I love it on my other Peter Parker figure, but it looks a couple years too young on this suit. This looks more like the Peter Parker from the Homecoming days. The masked head looks like a basketball to me. Maybe it's the vibrant red they used, or how round it is. You see it too, right? Anyway, I know a lot of people like this suit, and I can totally see why. But this figure feels like an iteration of the actual final swing suit. Everything is just slightly off. The metallic blue leans a bit purple. The red is slightly too orange. The web lines are too bold. And the Peter Parker head looks too young. A few minor adjustments should make this better. So... Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I like making things out of paper, and I like making things cooler. Especially my figures. Sometimes figures don't look all that screen accurate. All they need is a bit of touch-up here and there to unleash their hidden potential. I also love using everyday tools and materials to recreate iconic scenes from my figures, so they can shine on my display. Subscribe to my channel and join my DIY adventure as I ask myself the same question every week. Can I make it? Let's start with the red. I'm gonna go over the entire figure with the red to 1. Mattify it, and 2. Hopefully shift the hue to more of a pure red, rather than an orangish red. I'm also trying to subtly dial down the web lines. I don't want to cover them up completely. I just want them to be thinner or more subdued. For those who've been watching my videos, you've seen me work on other MCU Spider-Man figures, and you know that I tend to avoid painting the web lines. The reason is because I prefer them more subdued. Okay, it's because it's too difficult. There's so many lines and one little mistake would ruin the entire figure. I just didn't want to risk it. Oh, it actually looks pretty good already like this. But I didn't spend hours on adding the thin lines to Ant-Man and the Wasp, only to not do it to Spider-Man 2. So I'm gonna go over the web lines with a gunmetal color. Steady, steady. To be honest, I don't know if gunmetal is the right color to use. I want to lighten up the web lines so they aren't black. I find that the black web lines are overshadowing the spider symbol on his chest. It just doesn't look right to me. Another reason why I'm using gunmetal is because... But that's somewhere down the line. Ooh, look at me go! The lines are so crisp and clean. Wow, I am impressed. Working on Ant-Man and the Wasp definitely helped boost my confidence. Like I mentioned in those 2 videos, I want to avoid making any mistakes, because it's not going to be easy cleaning up the metallic paint. While I'm adding the lines, I realized just how many suits Tom Holland's Peter Parker wore in No Way Home. He started with the upgraded suit from Far From Home, then he used the Iron Spider suit to fight Doc Ock, then he used the black and gold one to find Electro, and then the integrated suit for the final battle. And one last one for the ending. That is 5 suits in one movie. That's kinda much. And there's a high chance that the next time we see Tom Holland's Peter Parker, he's gonna get another new suit or 2. Gotta sell more toys. I'm curious, does that bother you? The hero gets a new suit near the end of the movie, only to ditch it in the next appearance. It made sense for Iron Man since he was always improving his Stark tech. And they do try and justify the suit upgrades most of the time. But it makes me a little sad that we never got to see Wanda in her uncorrupted Scarlet Witch form in the movie, or Ms. Marvel using the suit her family gave her as her main suit in the Marvels. And it looks like Sam is also gonna get a new Captain America suit as well. On one hand, I get it. Sam, Bucky, and Doctor Strange had the same looks for years. That is why I skipped the Doctor Strange figure from No Way Home. But does Spider-Man need 2 new suits every movie? That said, I do like that the final swing suit no longer looks like a Stark Tech suit. So Spider-Man can finally be just Spider-Man. That's nice. And speaking of nice, let's make the blue even more metallic. I used to mix my own metallic paint, but I couldn't get the shine or color I wanted, so I got myself a set of new metallic paint to try. I don't think these are made to be used on figures, but I've used these paints a couple of times now, and so far I'm pretty impressed. They apply quite evenly on the surface and don't take forever to dry. As some of you know, I usually use tools that are easily accessible or affordable. To me, it's not necessarily about the brands, it's more about understanding and getting used to the tools. Dollar store paint is quite sheer, but that works for me. I can build up the intensity this way. Other people may prefer paint with better overall quality. It's all about preferences and what works for you. Alright, I'm done with the metallic blue paint. This looks so much better. Not only is it shinier, it's also no longer leaning purple. I also added some glossy varnish over the spider symbol to make it pop more. Now let me seal everything with the matte spray. On to the heads. Tell me this doesn't look like a basketball. Is it the shape? This head looks a bit rounder than the other ones. Let me apply the red over the mask first. I'm gonna try something different. Instead of gunmetal, I'm gonna try a dark bronze color. Brown is closer to red, so maybe that'll lighten up the web lines. It's an interesting combo, but it's hard to tell until it's all done. So let's speed this up. What if I go over the web lines with the red? That'll reduce the shine and make the lines appear less harsh. It's okay, but I don't like how uneven the lines look. Let's try another thing. Let me try painting over the entire mask with red. Again. Okay, I didn't film this part. The head turned out okay, but that extra layer of red made the mask much darker than the rest of the body. So I had to remove all the paint and restart from the beginning. I'm back. I've already done the base layer of red off camera. I'm just gonna paint over the web lines with the gunmetal color, the same way I did the body. I feel like that looks the best out of everything I've tried so far. I like what they did with the Spidey lenses. The shinier something is, the more it pops. But I want the eyes to pop the most. So I have to make the black lenses even glossier so they stand out even more against the metallic web lines. But I gotta add a thin coat of black paint over them first. The varnish needs a layer of paint to grip onto, otherwise it'll just slide around the surface. Alright, I'm done with the masked head. I don't know how I feel yet. I like that the eyes stand out more now. And I also like that the web lines aren't as bold. But we'll see how it looks on the body. Before I do that though, I need to do something to this Tom Holland head. They captured his likeness very well. I can repeat what I've done to the other Tom Holland head, but that's no fun. I want to update this head by aging him up a bit. The first thing that I want to change is his hairstyle. In No Way Home, his hair is more swept back. So I'm going to cut off those two dangling little strands of hair. Done. It doesn't look like much, but I also trimmed a bit of his hair right here to widen his forehead a bit. A bigger forehead should make him look a bit older. Alright, let's paint. As usual, let's start with the base color. I want Peter to look more experienced and more serious, so I'm going to try and add those frown lines between his brows. This is hard because these lines are not sculpted in, so I can't overdo them, otherwise they'll look very fake. They gave him innocent looking eyes, which works for the homecoming Peter Parker, but not so much for the Peter who lost Tony Stark, Aunt May, and all his friends. So I gotta somehow make his eye look more somber, and just a bit of red here and there to make his skin less perfect. And darken his hair a bit. Oh, and his brows. Can't forget those. And a bit of highlights to his hair. And finish it off with a glossy varnish to give him that wet hair look. Okay, I'm done. Oh my, this looks even more like Tom Holland and at the right age too. It's even better than my last Tom Holland head. Is this my best painted head? Here's Spider-Man all finished. Oh wow. Okay, first of all, that metallic blue looks just like the blue in the movie. I do have to give Hasbro props. The metallic blue they used wasn't bad. It's just not the right shade of blue. Oh, that Peter Parker face. I love it. It looks so good on the suit. The suit looks way more like an actual suit now. Let's see how the mask looks with the suit. Ooh, what do you think? The web lines on the mask are no longer distracting. I still don't know how I feel about the web lines being metallic, but it kinda works. Maybe a matte gray would have worked better. I'll never know, because I'm not doing these lines again. Just like many of the other figures, I'm liking this design more and more, but this still isn't my favorite Spider-Man suit design. Maybe it's the spider symbol. It kinda clashes against the web lines even though I've already toned them down. Or maybe it's the eye shape. I just can't seem to point out why this design doesn't look as cool as the other ones. That said, this suit looks really good unmasked. The more mature Peter Parker head works really well with this suit. I hope we get to see a more mature Spider-Man movie with this suit. Then I can like this figure even more. Oh, let me bring in the other No Way Home Spider-Man. This is the Spider-Man I have in my No Way Home display. Design-wise, I much prefer the integrated suit. That gold looks so good on him. But look at these faces. I'm quite shocked at how different they look. They are the same head, same mold, just painted slightly differently and a bit of modification to the hair. Just wow. This is really cool. As you may or may not be able to tell, I was kinda experimenting on this figure. Sometimes it's quite stressful to work on a figure I like a lot. But since this isn't my favorite design, I felt a little bit more brave experimenting with the web lines, the metallic paint, and aging the face up. I just wanted to see what works so I can hopefully apply it to the other two Spider-Men. I'm still quite stressed about doing those two again. I really want to do them justice. Not that I did a bad job. I just don't know if I can make them look even better. I really struggled with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man last time. The suit just didn't turn out exactly how I imagined. But let's focus on today's Spider-Man. Where do you rank this Tom Holland Spider-Man suit? And do you like what I've done? Do you prefer black or metallic web lines on this suit? Let me know down below. Alright, let's end this for the photo shoot. I have to admit, this design screams classic Spider-Man. While I do like the black and red color scheme on the previous suits, the red and blue combination is more iconic. I still need to get used to not seeing the Stark Tech designs. But yeah, I can totally see why people love this suit. This figure looks awesome, even with the unmasked head. Some of the previous Spider-Man figures don't look all that good without the mask, but this one looks pretty good in most angles. I'm very happy with the painted Tom Holland head. I find that with the previous Tom Holland heads, there's always a good side and a not so good side. But not here. Not only does he look a bit older, but he looks good in every photo. Alright, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a like and subscribe to see more content like this. Help me get to 30k. There will be more Spider-Man content coming. And as always, stay inspired and I'll see you soon. I can make it, so can you.